So now we are doing the Earth and Sun on page 6 in the packet using the Phase 5 cards from the packet on page 16 and 17. In the black folder, you're going to look at page 7 and then page 8. Or no, just page 7. And it's discussing the revolutions of the Earth around the Sun. So when this occurs on March 20th or 21st, that is the spring solstice. And that is when spring begins in the northern hemisphere. So all of the countries in the northern hemisphere are at spring. All of the countries and areas in the southern hemisphere are starting fall. In June, the sun shines straight at the equator, and all of the northern hemisphere is in summertime. All of southern hemisphere is wintertime. And then as it goes to the fall solstice, all of the northern hemisphere is in fall. All of the southern hemisphere is in spring. And then it will go to winter, and all of the northern hemisphere is in winter, and all of southern hemisphere is in summer. So looking at this, instruction number 1 says that it is March 30th in St. Petersburg, Russia. Find the date, label the date and the season near that city. So St. Petersburg, Russia is right here. So we're going to put a 1. And on March 30th, this is the northern hemisphere, and you can even put a line at the equator. So the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So March 30th, because of the spring solstice on March 21st or 22nd, all of the northern hemisphere is in spring. So on March 30th, we would be in spring. Number 2, it is June 30th in Tokyo, Japan. Label the date and the season near that city. So Tokyo is right here. It's in the northern hemisphere. So on June 30th, the summer solstice is going on in the northern hemisphere. That would be summertime for Tokyo. Let's skip. I would like you to do 3, 4 by yourself, but let's skip to number 5. Let's show the whole map. It is summer in Melbourne, Australia. Label the season in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. So in Melbourne, it is summertime. Rio is also in the southern hemisphere, which means that they have the same season at the same time. So Rio would also be summertime. Let's do number 6. It is summer in Santiago, Chile. What is the season in Istanbul, Turkey? So Santiago is in the southern hemisphere, and it's summertime. Istanbul is in the northern hemisphere, which means it's going to be the opposite of Santiago. So the opposite of summer is winter. I would like you to do 7 and 8 by yourself. And let's go to number 9. Find the 4 tropical zone cities in the southern hemisphere and label each of them tropical zone. So our tropics are going to be the area between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. So we're going to highlight this line and this line for our tropics. So we're going to look at the cities that are in these zones. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So number 9 is Lima. Rio, Mombasa, and Jakarta. So Lima, Peru, Rio, Brazil, Mombasa, India, and Jakarta, Indonesia. Now, find the 2 temperate zone cities that are in both the northern and western hemispheres and label each of them temperate zone. So we have Mexico City, Dakar, Mumbai in the northern hemisphere. However, the prime meridian runs through right here, making the west and the east. So number 10 is going to be Mexico City and Dakar. And that is the Earth and the Sun seasons.